Welcome everyone to the Best Damn Podcast. I'm your host, John Keene. As always, I would like to thank you guys for joining me. I hope you're having an awesome weekend and you guys are having an awesome April as it wraps up. We're getting ready to head into May. So, here is your astrology predictions for the month of May 2023. And we are going to specifically break down the upcoming full moon in Scorpio lunar eclipse. This will wrap up eclipse season here in 2023, and it's going to wrap it up in a major way. So, towards the end, we are also going to do a collective reading for all 12 signs with our tarot cards. So, make sure to stick around the entire time. Check it out. Leave a comment, guys. Let me know. You know, if you have any insight to the astrology for May, or if anything resonates, and I really want you to keep an open mind while listening to this. Astrology is it's so much based on our intuition and how we perceive the energies that we're receiving at that particular time, right? And based on how the planets are aligned within the zodiac, it can be varying degrees of experience for each and every one of us. So I may receive one version of the experience and you may receive another based on our own individual astrology. So think about it and apply it to whatever's going on within your life. And I guess the reason I'm getting tongue tied when I'm even saying this is because Mercury is now retrograde in Taurus. This is going to be very interesting, to say the least, because this upcoming lunar eclipse is going to affect our partnerships and our relationships in a major way, right? And like I said, this is wrapping up the last eclipse we just had. This, the Aries eclipse, which is initiating something, taking action on something, followed by the Libra moon. We've had everything's been about relationships, and this is that grand finale right here, guys. The grand finale, where things are coming to major endings. Because of Scorpio, we could see secrets being revealed, things being exposed. There could be incredibly obsessive and possessive and controlling, jealous, dark nature to the way that these things are unfolding. You can see a lot of people right now, as relationships deteriorate, being totally in their feelings. Um, Out of fear of being alone, or fear of being abandoned, or fear of the pain and not wanting to release and let go so they can heal correctly because of trauma they've experienced from the past. You'll see a lot of people clinging to dying relationships right now, or they can become incredibly possessive or toxic, as they get more desperate to avoid that release or avoid that fear. And really, the desperation comes from within themselves, right? They don't want to face what they got going on inside. And a lot of people, especially people that are codependent, use others to avoid facing themselves, right? They use others to create their happiness and don't have the ability to create the happiness on their own, right? So that's one possibility. Another thing that we could see also is people acting, out of character. Scorpio is that really kind of secretive, deep, dark, sexual energy. We could see people go about things in a way that maybe they normally wouldn't. That could even be like not within their moral compass or out of their character, such as being incredibly promiscuous, um, cheating, having an affair, lying, or being incredibly mean, cold, saying things that out of anger, bitterness, jealousy, right? Things that do real damage and cause deep wounds. We can see the scorpion, so to speak, lashing out at this time. And I think, and because Mercury is retrograde, and this is here, and I don't think a lot of people are going to listen to me. But here's the key. When I was reading something, actually, I read astrology reports and all of this all the time, right? And I was looking into the different astrology, and it was saying, like, basically that this is a time because of that scorpionic energy to act, or to act in character, to act on your behalf, your best interest long term, right? And to not take direct action out of anger, out of fear, out of resentment, not to act, uh, not to act from a place of hurt, right? To be very, very careful because Mercury retrograde, this can bring back exes, right? This can bring back old friends that maybe aren't so healthy or are toxic or are bad influences on us. This can bring around people from our past that maybe we once kicked it with or were super tight with, and we no longer are, but there's a reason. This can bring, um, and especially, this causes trouble in communication, right? The inability to communicate, the inability to really see eye to eye or to have clarity when it comes to something, whether it's deals or contracts or just agreements between two people, between partners. A lot of people won't be able to get along at this time. There'll be a lack of communication. You can see people cut communication off and go total silent treatment or total ghost on one another. Um, and you can also see a lot of arguments, right? Not seeing eye to eye, taking things wrong. Be careful because this also affects tech. So if you're texting somebody, right, text right now, that's the worst way to communicate, I think, because it can be misinterpreted. Um, Telephone as well, right? People can hang up on you, block your number, right? You see a lot of this at this time, but X's will be making a comeback more than likely in a lot of people's life, depending on their astrological sign. And we are being asked to wait till the middle of the month before we make any moves. And here's how you should judge, whether or not you should make the move. Think about, um, think about it in this way. Could I possibly regret this later? And don't think out of anger. Like I said, no thinking or acting out of anger, no thinking or acting out of resentment or trying to pay back or bitterness or grudges. None of that. None of the hurt. Don't act out of that. Don't make decisions out of that. Don't say things out of that, right? No behaviors out of that, because I'm telling you guys, once Mercury goes back direct at the middle of the month, it's going to bring us this amazing, amazing clarity, and it's going to allow us to communicate in a major way that's going to bring solutions into our lives. It may not even get you and your person back together, or it may not mend or heal your relationship. It may be, but it'll be solutions. It promises solutions at the middle of the month. It guarantees, solutions, positive solutions, and changes that benefit both parties or benefit both people in a partnership. And most of all, it's going to benefit you on a spiritual and emotional level, and on a mental level as well, right? We know how cerebral Mercury is, and right now we can be in our heads. We can be in our thoughts and be stuck in that, and creating fear in that may not even be real. And because of the different aspects with Uranus as well, we could have ideas, or just be coming away from ideas where we seen something in our lives that wasn't the way that we thought it was, right? We've been presented recently as Pluto comes around, exposing things, bringing things to the forefront, revealing things, and allowing them to burn to the ground, to break down the way they can be born again. And here's Scorpio coming in, right, with this full moon lunar eclipse to rebirth the phoenix, rising from the ashes. So relationships that seem like they were over can come back from the dead. As long as we don't make choices, as long as we don't take actions that destroy that and make there no path back, burning bridges, so to speak, partnerships as well, careers as well, jobs as well. No burning bridges, because you may want to come back after you get the clarity when Mercury goes direct. But also, this allows us healing on a personal level, right? This allows us to do no further damage within our lives at whatever we're going through. No further damage emotionally in a situation. Taking our time, having the patience, making sound choices, sound decisions, and allowing the energy to work for us. Not holding on to things, especially fear, especially people. What's meant for you will be in your life. What's meant for you will be in your life. No amount of toxicity, no amount of resistance, no amount of jealousy, insecurity, or ego will bring that back if it is not meant for you. All it will do is drive you down in frequency, which drives you down in what you're vibrating out to the world, which drives down what you're attracting back into your life, right? So you just lose over and over and over in this snowball effect. It's time to win, family. It's time to win. It's time to learn our lessons, right? What's meant for us will not be in our lives. It will leave us. We will release it, and it'll go. And we let it go with peace, love, grace, respect, honor, dignity, right? We release because we know, we appreciate, and we have clarity on why we're releasing, and we have clarity on the situation, hindsight being 2020 in our lives, these relationships we go through and experience, these partnerships we have, these lessons we learn. We release these things with clarity, seeing why they happened the way that they happened. And we may not have that understanding yet, but like I said, Mercury's in retrograde, and at the middle of the month when it goes direct, we're going to get that. So don't make stupid decisions, stupid choices that you're going to regret later, because you may just get clarity on something and decide you want to go back, right? Or decide you want to heal a situation, and you've taken away that option because you burnt that bridge, you know. So, and this could be, anything. Like if you quit a job or something, give your 2 weeks notice. Don't just walk out the door, slamming the door and cause a scene. If you're in a relationship, don't out of anger go, cheat on your person or sleep with someone else, because, you're going to do something that leaves it beyond repair. It's like, make wise choices, be patient, be virtuous, you know, and for the new things that are entering our lives, and a lot of us do have new things. That's what eclipse season is about, where one chapter closes, another one begins, right? Where one thing ends and finishes, something else starts and is brand new. It's born into our lives. So a lot of us could have great relationships right now birthing into our lives. And this is another thing I say, be patient with, fam. Like, be patient in how you approach new relationships. Don't drag your past into your future or into the present, right? Don't drag your old wounds, your old trauma into what it is you're trying to create or what it is you're trying to fix, right? For those of you trying to fix something from the past or fix a relationship, unforgiveness will not work. And a lot of people could be holding on to that and being forced to release it during Scorpio season or during the Scorpio lunar eclipse, right? It's like unforgiveness is like drinking poison and expecting it to kill the other person. It's absolute insanity, right? Bitterness as well, grief, anger, resentment. You have to forgive. You have to forgive yourself for the mistakes you've made. You have to forgive yourself from where you've come up short or couldn't make it work within a situation, right? And you have to, understand that you're not to blame for your past. You're not to blame for other people's actions. You're not to blame for other people's choices, right? You can only do what you can do, control what you can control. And that as long as you're giving it your best effort, right, and putting your best foot forward and being the best version of yourself that you can be and just working to be a little better each day, that's all you can do. And that's the best anyone could ask and that's amazing if that is you, and let's say you haven't been living up to par. Well, now you have that awareness of the actions and the patterns and the things that you were doing that kept you down, that kept you from being successful. And like now it's time to focus on that success and release where we didn't come up winners, and to move towards the things that we do truly desire. Right, we know what we don't want because it brought us pain. We know what we don't want, right, because it caused grief or chaos into our lives. And this eclipse has brought a lot of chaos in a lot of people's lives, guys. It's been rocking and rolling a lot of people's worlds, and this is no different. This one's gonna fucking amplify it in a major way, and this is gonna be sudden ending. So the chaos got brought in the first eclipse, right? In the Aries eclipse. Now we have the finale. The finale. Excuse me. Can't talk today. The finale. The grand finale. Right? The death and the rebirth, or the resurrection of something. Middle of the month, Mercury goes direct. We will be thinking with clarity. It's almost going to be it's like 2 chapters this month. The first chapter is this wild, fucking chaotic chapter where we're taking crazy actions. We can be and we're finding this confidence within ourselves to move forward, to move towards new things, to finally value ourselves with Taurus, and to pursue the luxuries of life. And we're working hard, and we got all this great energy, but we're twisted up on the inside, right? We're twisted up in our minds. We can't communicate correctly. Right? Our texts are screwy. Our calls are screwy. We're not seeing eye to eye. Nobody is, able to be on the same wavelength. You got the past coming back into your life, exes, old friends, right? Trying to bring you back to that old vibration, bring you back to that old frequency, or take you back to that shithole place you were in. Some people could go back to addiction, back to drinking, back to drugs. A lot of people are overindulging at this time. And like I said, a lot of people are acting very promiscuous at this time. Some of them out of spite and anger and resentment and unforgiveness. And we have to understand that this eclipse is going to affect us from the next 6 months to some people 2 to 20 years. That's how powerful and significant these events are. Hybrid eclipses, black moons, right? It's insane. The Libra moon to the Aries moon to the new moon in Aries, solar eclipse to the full moon in Scorpio, lunar eclipse. This is boom, boom, boom. The eclipses from the last 2 years have all kind of worked together. And you, my friend, all of us have had amazing and exponential growth over the last 2 years worth of eclipses. We've been leaps and bounds, big fucking important chapters in our life. But this could be the greatest chapter of all. This could be the chapter where not only you take from the last moon and you initiate and start something new, and you finally take action on something that you need to take action on that's going to be healthy, it's going to build confidence, it's going to give you value, it's going to give you strength, it's going to give you the gas needed in the tank to get the fucking job done. But now, that old you, that old version of you, those old relationships and connections and thoughts and ideas and lies you tell yourself emotionally, the trauma, it dies, it burns away, it's purified, and you rise again, new, anointed, full of life, fertility, ready for the spring and the summer, and ready to sow for this amazing harvest in life. And you're not taking actions that are going to burn you later. You're not burning bridges. That way you have the ability to go back where there's still love, or where there's still, and this is going to be the key here, right? Scorpio eclipse is fight for what's worth fighting for. Fight for what's worth fighting for, and fight for who's worth fighting for in your life. But if they won't fight with you, and they only want to be against you, then don't fight another. Put your swords down. Allow the truth to be what the truth is. Allow the situation to be what the situation is. And you work on you. You generate and create a frequency that allows you to vibrate in such a high place, a beautiful, happy place, such an attractive, loving place that it brings in all you desire, you know. It brings in true love. And these new beginnings for you are about, promotions at your job, raises, businesses taking off, recognition online, social media, right? People hitting it big, getting lucky. Jupiter and his aspects this month is going to make it fucking wild. There's so much luck that can come in, guys. So much luck from Jupiter right now. And like this month Jupiter's gonna play such a huge role. That way, where maybe something, it's expansion. So it's like areas of our life are going to expand. Our careers, we're going to get bigger in areas we didn't think we could. We're going to put the focus on areas where we're not growing, and we're going to make them grow. Jupiter's going to make them grow. Jupiter's going to give us the confidence and the growth and the light. That way we can make amazing things happen in life. And it's like there's going to be true success. And I feel like true love is around the corner for so many people right now. If you're going through this cycle, and some people, if you're with someone, you're committed to someone, this could be your relationship going to the next level, the next chapter, right? Going to a higher version of commitment, going to the next level of commitment. You guys could be getting married, or deciding to be exclusive, or someone you're talking to, you guys could become an item, boyfriend and girlfriend. It's like you take something to the next level, and there's going to be something new created out of this. Be careful if you don't want to get pregnant at this time, right? Be careful, because pregnancy could be something new that's created. And depending on your mindset, your feelings, and how you approach things, that determines what you create. Make sure you're sowing seeds that make sure you're giving out what you want back. It's a good rule of thumb, especially for this eclipse. Make sure you're putting out what you want back. Mercury retrograde has us all in our heads, tongue-tied. A lot of us, are going through issues with relationships and partnerships, and it's like contracts and deals and negotiations, and like just we're not in tune with things that we were once in tune with. We've fallen out of connection, or out of love, if you will, with a lot of people, places, and things in our lives. And it's like, in order to get back on the vibe, you cannot intentionally destroy that vibe, because what we do today will affect us tomorrow, and if we're putting out hatred, anger, darkness, if we're putting out unforgiveness, if we're putting out bitterness, judgment, that's what we're sowing, and that's what we'll reap. This eclipse will amplify in a major way, and illuminate in a major way the things that we're actually doing, the things that we're actually saying, the actions we're actually taking. And that's what Scorpio is about. It's what's hidden, it's what's dark, it's what's secret, it's what's underneath, so it's what you're feeling truly inside that's going to be illuminated. So if you're lying to yourself about how you feel about something, how you feel about someone, how you feel about yourself, it's going to be illuminated. It's going to be shown. It's going to be displayed for you, and maybe for others as well. So we have to get honest and get real with us. Most importantly, it's like we can't lie to ourselves about how we feel about something, or how we feel about someone, or a situation, And we wait to that middle of the month when we can communicate correctly, and we're going to come up with solutions and be able to communicate, be able to express ourselves in a healthy way. As long as we don't, express ourselves unhealthily. Now, even if we have to take a step back, detach, give space, give room, even if we have to ghost, you know, don't don't put yourself in a position you don't want to be in later by burning bridges today, by harming others today. Because that harm comes back to you. And even if you're sowing something new while finishing up something old, remember to finish up something old with delicacy, with respect, with integrity, dignity, right? And then you can start your new chapter the same way. If you stay balanced in all that you do, then your life doesn't get out of whack. Once it starts getting out of whack in one area or another, you're giving too much time, energy, attention to one person or one thing, or one area of your life. Um, we start to get lopsided in our energy and lopsided with our world, and we'll try to compensate by focusing either on that area to try to balance things out, just really making it lopsided, or we'll try to focus on other areas and then neglect the one that we were actually concerned about. You know, Sometimes to detach a little is a good thing. Sometimes to take a step back a little is a good thing. It gives us perspective, you know. And some of us could be feeling incredibly disconnected right now. Incredibly disconnected, especially within partnerships. You um, and right now I see that more than anything, more than anything, it's uh, it's going to be about whether or not we're able to let the old version die at the end of the day. Okay. Now, whether this is old habits, um, there could be toxic traits within a relationship. There could be toxic habits that you have, toxic habits of another person, toxic thoughts, right? Anything that needs to be released, or anything we need to let die, let go of. We could have to let go of people. Like I said, if they're meant for you, they will come back. If they're meant for you, they will remain in your life, right? Um, and when we release those traits and those toxic actions and words and all of that, you know, um, we learn the lesson, right? We learn the lesson of why we can't do those things, or why we can't say those things, or why taking certain actions doesn't work for us, because we see the consequences that have manifested, you know. And we learn from those consequences, we learn from those mistakes, and that's powerful, guys. Learning from your mistakes is powerful. It allows you to not make them again, right? And some of you guys, it's going to cost you majorly, these mistakes. You're going to lose it all. You know, some of you guys are going to lose your wife or husband. Some of you guys are going to lose your boyfriend, girlfriend, kids, or um, relationships with friends, or, family, parents, siblings. Some of you guys are going to lose your jobs. It's like, and it's going to be painful. And it has been painful for a lot of you that are already going through it. But it's learning from those lessons, it's learning from those experiences, seeing, being honest with ourselves where we went wrong. Don't, worry about what someone else did or said or is doing or saying. Look at what you can change, and look at what you have done, the roles you have played. Forgive yourself for it, you know, love yourself regardless of it, but be honest about it. What could I have done differently? How could I have done that differently? How could I have handled that differently? You know, and be patient, step back, look at it from both sides, look at it from the other's perspective. How would that make me feel if I were them? How would I see that if I were them? What would I say if I were them? Right? Be understanding, not judgmental. Be empathetic, not judgmental, not hypocritical. You don't have to criticize another person, to get your point across. You don't have to judge another person to make you right. It's like, oh, well, if I shame and condemn them, then I'm right. If I criticize them, then they know I'm right. It doesn't matter who's right or wrong at the end of the day. If you're not willing to meet someone in the middle and communicate and do it in a healthy way and humble yourself enough to communicate, humble yourself enough to listen, right? Listen, hear the needs of other people, listen, hear what others are saying to you. And if they won't listen to you, well, then they're missing out on the benefit of getting to know what your true needs are and your true feelings are. And this is someone that you don't need in your life anyways. Someone that doesn't deserve to be in your life. That's a narcissist, which I did a video on narcissism just a day or two ago. How to spot a narcissist. Watch it. Sorry guys, 1 second here. I'm gonna get the tarot cards. Do a collective tarot. The Scorpio full moon, man. This is fucking huge. This is huge. When it comes to relationships and partnerships, it don't get no bigger. It really doesn't. This one takes the cake here. And a lot of us, if we're with somebody, we will be breaking up. We will be moving on. We will be letting go. And those of us that are not with someone or have already, broken up, will be probably finding someone new. There'll be a lot of new shit coming in, a lot of new starts, new beginnings, and we'll be releasing the things that held us back from growing. That's the most exciting part of all. It's like that this is the indicator of growth. It's like we are growing now, and it comes at a cost, and sometimes a sacrifice even. But we're ready for it. We're ready for whatever spirit or God has put on our plate. We're ready for that, or it wouldn't be on our plate. It wouldn't be in our lives. We wouldn't be in the situation. We wouldn't be experiencing it if we weren't ready to face it, take it on, and overcome it. Here we go. Collective tarot reading for May 2023. And Scorpio Lunar Eclipse. I hope you enjoyed the intuitive astrology reading. I got more intuitive astrology, more tarot, more videos, more coming. More collabs and everything. If you enjoy my work, you enjoy the channel. Right now, I'm trying to raise some funds. I am moving right now. A lot of people relocating and moving as well this time. And I need to raise a pretty good amount of money, and I need some help. So I'm calling on the fam. Hey fam out there, viewers, if you get something from this, I gotta raise like $3,000. So anything helps. Okay, please donate, support the channel. I had to get a real job. I used to do this off of donations, but I had to get a real job. So hopefully I can get people to donate at least for this one this time. All right, guys. PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, Facebook Messenger Pay. You can get a YouTube subscription. Join us on Patreon, or you can book a reading. They're $50. Text me 513-393-2296, or email the realbestdampodcast@gmail.com and get a reading. Okay, guys. All right. Holy Spirit, show us what we need for the collective. I'm excited. I'm so excited. All right. Ooh, feeling left out in the cold. Feeling left out in the cold. So many of us right now at this time, dude. And I feel you. I feel you, and I feel this energy. It's like, damn, pain, letting go, moving on, feeling abandoned. You know, some of you guys, there's people that you've loved in your life that have walked away from you, or you've had to walk away from someone you love. It's painful. It hurts. You feel left in the cold. You feel abandoned. Maybe some of you it's just emotionally. Someone isn't, or someone isn't giving you the support you need or meeting your needs. Somebody isn't emotionally there for you. The challenge, you know, challenge is to work on yourself. To work on yourself. I think that if you're really wanting to fix something with another person, for those of you that are working on that, is work on yourself. Make yourself more attractive by being strong, stable, and in your own power, in your own energy. Work on you. Work on learning from your mistakes, like we talked about in the astrology portion. Work on you. Work on bettering yourself. And if some of you feel like you have been working on a relationship or a situation, you feel like you're not getting anything back from it. You feel like I keep giving and giving and giving, and I'm getting nothing in return. Or I keep trying and trying and trying, and they're putting forth zero effort. So there's a lot of frustration on some of your parts because, like I said, you feel emotionally abandoned. I mean, or you feel like somebody just isn't there, like someone has walked away from you. I feel like just recently a lot of you guys have become single. You went through a breakup, or for those of you guys that are in a relationship, it's like you have needed space, or your person has needed space. There's been like time apart or space, or some of you are stepping in your own fucking energy and just becoming more and more independent, and you're needing independence in your life. And just recently that's been a big theme for a lot of us. It's needing to be in our own energy, in our own power, and not have to depend on others, because depending on others leaves us feeling, like that, like, oh, I'm putting all this work in and I'm getting nothing back. I'm putting all this energy in and I'm getting no effort, and then depending on someone else, right, then, leave you feeling abandoned when they walk away, or when they betray you, or when they do you dirty or do you wrong. So it's like needing to stand up for yourself, needing to take care of yourself, needing to have confidence in yourself, right? And a lot of us are getting that by separating ourselves from the negative and toxic energies and people in our life, and by pursuing the things that make us happy, by pursuing our goals, by working on our money, working on our business, working on our career, working on our appearance. And in the immediate future, you have clarity. You have clarity. You're in your zone. No one's going to deceive you or fool you. You've been around the block too many times. A lot of you guys are just sitting there with your mouth shut. You don't have nothing to say even. You're like, I ain't got nothing to say. I'm just watching. I'm just listening. You know. And you're getting a clean perspective on shit. You're seeing the real. It's like you're getting insight into someone or something. Like you're seeing the real person. Now. It's like you're learning who the real you is. Like, oh, I thought this type of situation would make me fucking happy, but it didn't. It's like I thought this type of person is who I wanted, but they're not. I thought that this lifestyle was for me, but it isn't. Like a lot of things, like a lot of revelations coming. A lot of you tight-lipped, on your plans or your goals. Some of you guys aren't trying to share what you plan on doing in the future here, and you don't have to let everybody know. The universe already knows. You don't have to tell everybody, I'm planning on moving, or I'm planning on dating somebody new, or I'm planning on getting married, or we're planning on having a baby. You don't have to announce what you want to do next. You can keep it to yourself. Let people wonder, let people guess. Add to the mystery that is you, because we're all so different. We all are a mystery, and that is the mystery, right? It is us. You know, it's like you're really balanced. You're really in, and I feel like this moon here, this full moon is going to be bring lots and lots and lots of clarity, lots and lots of insight. Yes, yes, yes. I love to see this card. Some of you guys are Virgos out there, or Virgo highly aspected. Could it be just because we have the moon in Virgo today as I'm doing this? I think so. That Virgo energy, right? We're getting ourselves organized. Underneath, we are working on putting ourselves together, organizing ourselves, organizing our lives, right? Getting our situation straight. Whether it's a relationship and we're like setting ourselves up to repair something, to fix something, to work on something, or we're setting on something new to grow something. Um, we're nurturing ourselves, and there's this need to nurture ourselves right now, right? We it, if you're feeling abandoned, and like someone has kind of walked out on you or left you out in the cold, and um, or you feel like life is doing that to you, or you feel like, you know what I mean, you don't feel like you have anyone there. um, that's when you need to learn how to nurture you. That's when you need to nurture you. And some of you guys, you nurture yourself, and be careful of overindulgence, right? um, when we're nurturing is things that are very healthy and positive, right? Healing, healing, not distorted base versions of that. um, Nurturing, shouldn't come in the form of drugs and alcohol and being sexually promiscuous, and that's not going out and fighting or whatever. Like, that's not nurturing. You may think you need that, but that's the ego, right? That's the distorted ego, and that's the lower carnal side of us. That's the lie. That's anything that's impulsive, anything that's negative, anything that's dark, distorted, will hurt someone else or hurt yourself. Anything that's outside of your moral compass, outside of your character, no. No. We're nurturing ourselves on a very spiritual level, because we want happiness. Our focus is happiness right now. You're pursuing emotional fulfillment. And that's what I love about this too, Scorpio. It's water, it's emotional. Um, it's like releasing trauma from the past, releasing old karma, releasing our deepest inner darkness, revealing the secrets about ourselves, revealing truths, exposing lies, purging, just the muck and the nastiness within us, purging unforgiveness and all of that ugly, distorted stuff, getting rid of the bad and making room for the good, coming up clean, coming up baptized, purified, reborn, and on fire, full of magic, full of life, full of energy, full of power, pursuing destiny. And this is completion, right? This is a major completion in some of your cycles. Like, some of you guys are coming to this culmination of who you are, right? This is like the final chapter, the final boom, boom, boom of growth, for the knockout. You're knocking out the old persona. You're knocking out the old projection of who you thought you were, and now the new you emerges, almighty and powerful. It is beautiful. And you know what? If you want love, it's there. You're setting yourself up for true love, for family, for happiness. You're being, it's sad, and it's crazy, but you're being influenced by betrayal. Someone doing something to you over and over and over again, whether it's lying to you over and over, cheating on you over and over, betraying you over and over, or just hurting you over and over and over, you know. And this can be verbal abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse, you know. This is just somebody going through it, and this is what's triggering it. This is what's triggering it. hitting that rock bottom. A lot of you guys have had help, right? You've experienced incredible pain in your life. You've experienced trauma more than once, lots of trauma, over and over trauma. And the person that you are breaking free from or feeling left out by or had to walk away from, right, brought a lot of this into your life or brought a lot of it up. Even if a lot of the traumas from the past, they brought it back up. Why? Because you never healed from it from the past, and now it is cycling its way back into your life, right? See, whatever frequency you was on when you met the person that you're with or you were with, your ex or, the person you're talking to, whenever you met that person, the frequency you was on, if it was lonely and hurt at the time when you met that person, guess what? That's what you attracted into your life. It was when you were lonely. It was when you were hurt or feeling betrayed or let down from your last relationship, unless you gave yourself a chance to heal. And most people do not. Most people move on before the old relationship's even over. Most people are cheating on the person before they've even broken up, or you know what I mean? Like, I hate to say it, that's just the truth. And that's not always it. There are a lot of very loyal people out there that would never cheat or never lie or betray someone they love, right? So don't get me wrong, I don't want to sound bitter or anything, but there is, and I've experienced a lot. I've had a lot of people do that to me, where they're cheating on me before we were even done, right? Or the next day or the next week or whatever, like they were already with somebody else. And it's like, because there was, something was already going on before it ever ended, right? You see what I'm saying? And it's like, we can find ourselves dealing with people, like that. And if we ourselves become like that and we try to, and this is what I was saying about be careful about our actions, because if we take those kind of actions and start something new before we've closed the old chapter, we're dragging that into our lives. It's like, especially like if we're cheating on someone, they make us unhappy, so we're cheating on them, or we're sleeping with someone else and we haven't ended that yet, or we haven't broken up with them yet. It's like, haven't closed that chapter yet. You're bringing that into your new relationship as well. It's not a good way to start love. You need to start it healed, completely over the past, detached from the past, not starting anything new and engaging in something new, even just sex. Yeah, Pisces energy, King of Cups. This is like we are searching for emotional fulfillment, you know, and a lot of us right now, that's what's on our mind. That's our focus. This comes to the forefront during the Scorpio full moon eclipse. It's like an emotional fulfillment, making sure in life that we're fulfilled. And it's like that can come in a variety of ways. Some of us are emotionally complete and fulfilled, living a balanced, healthy life. It has nothing to do with being with someone else or having other people. Having good, healthy relationships with our family, good, healthy relationships with our friends, um, good, healthy relationships at work and with our coworkers, and with ourselves, feeling good about ourselves. But it's about like big, nurturing love, unconditional love, mature love. And that's what we're needing right now, is mature love. And a lot of us find ourselves, because of what's taken place in our lives, ready to give love like that, or wanting to give love like that, wanting to be a part of that kind of love. And that's, it's learning the lesson from what doesn't work that does make us mature, especially when it comes to our love life. Learning the lessons that do not work, learning from the things that didn't work, learning from the mistakes we made, and knowing by how another has treated us what we don't want, you know, and not accepting that no matter what, having patience, temperance, Sagittarius energy. We need patience, guys. We need patience. Our hopes and our dreams will manifest, you know, but we have to be patient. We have to allow that to unfold. We can't force situations. Like I said, with Mercury retrograde, a lot of people, because of miscommunication, because of bitterness, unforgiveness, because some exes from the past could come back in, or people from the past could come in, they can make very, very poor choices at this time. You know, choices that they would regret. And, you know, even the astrology is saying that, so the tarot is confirming it. Have patience. Don't jump to conclusions. When it comes to the way you see something or think about something, you may be wrong. Um, don't make rash choices or decisions or act on impulse or act out of anger or act out of hurt or unforgiveness, because you can burn bridges that, you know, once you have this clarity, you may regret burning, you know. And if you have to take a step back and detach in order to do this, then so be it. Um, if you need to just focus on you and, you know, your routine and your growth and elevation, and so be it. But make sure you're exercising, you know, temperance. You need patience right now. Your life is divinely guided. You know, this is all part of the divine plan. The astrological uh, wheel is turning, right? And each and every one of us are going through this in our own way, shape, form, and facet. And it's like, yes, I see you in the end getting this straightened out, like things into alignment. This is you taking action, getting things into alignment, you know, opportunity. I love it. I love it. It's opportunity starting to bloom. Seven of Wands, opportunity. Putting forth the effort, taking the action, getting things straight. There's that clarity. Like I said, when Mercury goes back direct, middle of the month, guys, shit will change. I like 360 change. That's the craziest about it. Think about it. When Mercury goes retrograde, he's spinning backwards. You know, technology agreements, contracts, all that is all weird. So, like I said, text messages, phone calls, you know, deals, agreements, right? Commitments, and, you know, communication in particular. When he goes direct in Taurus, woo boy, I'm telling you, it's all about self worth, beauty, luxury. You know, we have Venus helping us out with the relationships, and, you know, we can think clear now and get out of our heads, and we're going to be able to communicate clear, and solutions are going to come. Beautiful, powerful solutions are going to come at the middle of the month. It's going to allow us to really navigate and straighten things out into um, outcomes that not only, you know, that you will be happy with, but if you're dealing with more than one person, that both or multiple parties.